Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, usually when I walk in here and I pick up the stack for the day, I have a pretty clear mental map of where we're going.
Sure.
We're looking at a slice of history or maybe a new tech breakthrough or, a psychological study that explains why we do the weird things we do. It's neat.
It fits in a box.
It fits in a box. It's comfortable.
And today's stack, well, it absolutely refuses to fit in a box. In fact, I think it actually set the box on fire.
It really did. Today, I feel less like a host and more like I'm, I don't know, standing in the middle of a dark highway at 3 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
On one side, I've got these cryptic, crumbling, almost psychedelic lyrics of Syd Barrett.
Right.
Specifically the stuff he wrote right as he was, checking out of reality and into his own headspace. And on the other side, I have this absolute fever dream of a manifesto labeled RADIO-MANNADORO.
It is a collision, isn't it? It feels less like a comparative literature study and more like a car crash.
Yeah.
You have the surreal paranoia of the late 1960s London underground, and then you have this visceral, aggressive, digital paranoia of right now.
It's so jarring. But the crazy thing is, the more I read these two sources side by side, and I mean I read them over and over again to prepare for this, the more I started seeing the same ghost haunting both of them. It's not just about eccentric people writing eccentric things. It's about a very specific mechanism. It's about predation.
That's the word. That's the one that kept coming up in my notes, too. Predation and consumption.
It's this idea that culture, whether it's, the folk scene in Greenwich Village in 1965 or the algorithmic feed of 2026, is a machine.
Yeah.
And not just a machine that makes noise, but a machine designed to eat people.
Yeah, not just eat them. Recalibrate them. Turn them into something useful for the machine before just discarding the husk.
Exactly.
If you look closely at Barrett's Bob Dylan Blues and then you jump to the necrophagous insects in the Manadoro text, you realize they're describing the exact same ecosystem, just with different technology. One uses acoustic guitars, the other uses fiber optics.
So that is the mission for this deep dive. We're going to try to map the anatomy of this monster. We're talking about everything from Bob Dylan's wallet to, quote, necrophagous insects running the internet.
Yeah.
And I should warn you right up front, this isn't a how to fix your life session. We aren't going to give you 5 tips for better productivity. The vibe here is, it's bleak.
It's satirical, certainly. But it's the kind of satire that leaves a bruise. It asks a question that most of us are, I think, too scared to really sit with.
Which is?
In this massive digital ecosystem, are you the diner or are you the dinner?
So let's start with the diner, or at least the guy pretending to be the diner. We have to talk about Syd Barrett and Bob Dylan Blues.
Which is such a fascinating place to start because on the surface, if you just listen to the track casually, it sounds like a throwaway.
Totally. It's a demo.
It's a demo, it's lo-fi. It sounds like Barrett just poking fun at Bob Dylan. But if you know anything about Barrett, the founder of Pink Floyd, the guy who eventually just cracked under the immense pressure of the industry in his own mind, nothing is ever just poking fun.
Right. He's not just roasting a friend or a rival. He's dismantling a god.
Yes.
You have to look at the context. This is the mid-'60s. Bob Dylan is not just a singer. He is the Messiah.
He's the voice of a generation.
The voice of a generation. He's the guy who is supposed to have all the answers. And here comes Syd Barrett with this jaunty little tune singing, "Got the Bob Dylan blues and the Bob Dylan shoes."
It's the shoes line. That's the line that kills me every single time. It's so reductive.
In what way?
He immediately takes this spiritual icon, this prophet of the age, and reduces him to a costume, to a product you can buy. It's not about the message anymore. It's about the branding.
It reminds me of that line later in the song, "'Cause my gut and my wallet are fat."
Exactly. He's piercing the veil of authenticity. The entire selling point of the 60s protest singer, and really of any counterculture hero, was, I am outside the system. I am fighting the man. I am pure. Yeah. And Barrett just looks at him and says, no, you aren't. You are the system. Your wallet is fat. This is a job.
It's the commodification of dissent.
That is a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Make a whole lot of dough, but I deserve it, though.
Yeah.
That sarcasm is so corrosive.
It really is.
Barrett is pointing out that as soon as you turn rebellion into a product, a record, a concert ticket, a T-shirt, a hat, it ceases to be rebellion. It becomes commerce.
It becomes an asset class.
It's just another thing to sell. And that links directly to the mechanics of fame. There's that other line, because I'm a poet, don't you know it?
It's so catchy, but it's just mocking the label.
Totally. It implies the label poet or genius is just a marketing tag. It's like a sticker on a banana. It tells you the price, not the quality.
And then he says it outright.
He does. Buy all my discs and a hat. He's literally giving you the shopping list.
Buy all my discs and a hat. That stopped me in my tracks because, well, just open Instagram, open TikTok right now. What is the end game of every single authentic influencer or thought leader today?
It's merch. It's always merch.
It's the merch drop. Buy my hat, buy my identity, buy this shirt that proves you listen to me.
It is the exact same mechanism. Whether it's a folk singer in Greenwich Village in 1964 or a YouTuber in a gaming chair today, the message is, I have the truth. I am authentic. Now, please purchase the artifacts of my personality so you can feel authentic too.
Wow, it's identity foreclosure. You buy their identity because you don't have your own.
You're outsourcing it.
Yeah. But Barrett goes deeper than just the money. He goes after the prophecy. The song says, I can prophesy all kinds of things. And then this line, well, I sing about dreams and I rhymes it with seams.
Oh, that is a devastating takedown of artistic profundity. Just brutal.
Why do you think it's so brutal?
Because he's pulling back the curtain on the songwriting process itself. He's saying, you think this is a deep spiritual message. You think I'm channeling the divine. No. I use the word dreams because it rhymes with seams.
It's structural. It's mechanical.
It's not magic. It's engineering. It's about finding words that fit the meter and the rhyme scheme. He's revealing the trick.
It's almost like he's calling Dylan an algorithm before algorithms even existed. Input, dream, output, seam.
Precisely. And this is where we have to bridge the gap to the RADIO-MANNADORO source. Because Barrett was critiquing the God status of a single rock star. He saw the cracks in one pedestal.
Okay.
But the Mannadoro texts, they argue that the pedestal has shattered, and now we are all trying to stand on the shards.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that in the digital age, we are all Bob Dylan now. We all have the shoes. We are all curating a persona. We are all trying to sell a version of ourselves where dreams rhyme with seams.
We're all performing.
We are all performing. We are all prophesying to our 200 followers on whatever platform. We're all selling our own little hat.
That is a terrifying thought. We've democratized the sellout. We are all the guy with the fat wallet, or at least the guy desperate for the fat wallet.
And that desire to be the hero, to be the main character, it makes us incredibly vulnerable. Because if you are constantly performing, you are constantly needing an audience.
Right.
And if you need an audience, you are desperate. And in nature, desperate things get eaten.
Which brings us to the wolves.
To the wolf pack.
Now, Wolfpack is one of those Barrett tracks that just feels like a bad trip. It's atmospheric, it's dark, it's disjointed.
It's a pure texture.
Yeah. Howling the pack information, dripping blanched bones, magnesium proverbs and sobs.
It sounds like a horror movie set in a forest.
It does if you take it literally. But we need to pause here and look at how Barrett actually operated as an artist. You mentioned Matilda Mother in the notes before we started.
Yeah, that line is iconic. Wondering and dreaming, the words have different meaning. The words have different meaning. That is the key to unlocking Barrett. He was obsessed with phonetic ambiguity, with words that sound like other words. He often didn't even release official lyrics. He wanted the listener to project their own meaning onto the sounds. It's almost like auditory pareidolia. Seeing faces in the clouds, but with your ears.
So we shouldn't just read the lyric sheet. We should be listening to the phonetics. We should be listening for the other meanings.
Exactly. So there is a very compelling and honestly quite disturbing interpretation of Wolfpack that suggests he isn't talking about animals at all. Listen to the phrase, howling the pack.
Howling the pack, okay.
Now say it differently. Break it apart. Howl and the packed information.
Howl and the packed information. Whoa, okay, that completely changes the temperature of the room.
Doesn't it? If you view it through that lens, suddenly the pack isn't wolves. It's the signal. It's the media. It's the dense, overwhelming rush of data that was just starting to emerge back then.
So the howl is the noise of it all.
It's the noise, and the packed information is the content. And suddenly the other weird words make sense. Magnesium isn't some strange chemical. It's the flashbulbs of the paparazzi. Proverbs are the sound bites and the headlines. Sobs are the performative emotions we see on screen.
So the wolf pack is the media swarm. It's the feed.
It's the feed. And what does the pack do? It hunts, it coordinates, it moves information.
And this connects directly, I mean, word for word almost, to that visceral image in the RADIO-MANNADORO text, the necrophagus insects.
Right. The text reads, frenetically like necrophagus insects. The creators dig the flesh to the bone.
Okay, for the listener who might have skipped biology class, necrophagus means eating dead tissue.
Like maggots, like carrion beetles.
Right, insects that feed on corpses.
Correct. The Manadoro source is making a brutal argument here. It's saying that content creators and the algorithms that push them are not creating anything living. They are scavengers.
Wow.
They feed on the decay of society. They feed on dead ideas, dead controversies, dead outrage.
That makes a disturbing amount of sense. Think about how the internet reacts to a tragedy, or a scandal, or a celebrity breakup.
It swarms. It's a kinetic event, a feeding frenzy.
It swarms. Everyone has a take. Everyone makes a video reaction. Everyone wants to scoop up meat.
Yes. And you have to bring in the lyrics from another Barrett song, Opal, here. He sings, "Shimmer as flies, scoop up meat."
Shimmer as flies scoop up meat.
It's the same image. The flies, the insects, the pack. They descend on a subject, they strip it of all nuance, all humanity, until there is nothing left but the blanched bone.
And let's look at that wolf pack line again. The transcription is debated, right? Some say it's short-wheeling, fresh spring, but others hear it as short-wheeling, fresh prey.
And fresh prey makes so much more sense in this context. Short-wheeling implies a quick turn, a cycle.
Like the news cycle.
Exactly like the news cycle.
Yeah.
Or think about the refresh rate of your social media feed. You pull down to refresh, that's a short wheel, and what appears?
Fresh prey. A new target.
A new target. A new main character of the day for the pack to destroy. We strip one topic to the bone, and then we wheel around looking for the next piece of meat.
It's a relentless cycle of consumption. The other line from Wolfpack that fits here is gripped with blanched bones.
Blanched means whitened, stripped of all color and life.
Yeah.
That is what we leave behind. When the internet is done with a person or a story, they are just a blanched bone. There is no meat left.
The influencers and the fans have scooped it all up.
They've scooped it all up to feed their own engagement metrics.
But here's the question that the Manadoro text poses, and it's the one that really makes me uncomfortable. Who is the prey? Is it the celebrity we're canceling? Is it the news story?
Or is it you?
The listener.
The Manadoro text says, you are the insects you already eat. It blurs the line completely.
So you think you are the consumer sitting safely behind the glass watching the wolves eat?
No. You are part of the swarm. You are the mechanism of decay.
Yeah.
And at the exact same time, you are being consumed by it.
This leads us into what I'm calling the digital gulag section of the notes. Because the Manadoro text stops being poetic here and it starts getting really aggressive.
Yeah, it does.
It starts calling names, it stops attacking the creators, and starts attacking the audience.
It calls us useful idiots, normalizers of ideological subversion. It's borrowing language from Cold War espionage to describe how we interact with apps on our phones. It's intense.
And it has this bizarre, angry rant about food ingredients. It says something like, you worry about insects in food, but you can't even read a label.
If it were truthful, it adds, which is the key part. This is a metaphor for our selective outrage and our illusion of control.
How so?
We obsess over these tiny, manageable details. Is this product organic? Is this ethically sourced? Is this free trade? Because it makes us feel like we have agency. It makes us feel like good people.
We're rearranging the deck chairs.
Exactly. We are rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, but the deck chairs are made of packed information, and the iceberg is an algorithm. We are completely blind to the fact that the entire informational environment we live in is toxic.
So we're worrying about the garnish on a plate of poison.
Perfectly put. And then there's the line that, well, it made me laugh out loud, even though it's pretty gross. The Overton window in the ass.
Yeah, I saw you highlighted that one.
I had to.
For those who don't know, the Overton window is a political science term. It's the range of ideas that the public is willing to accept as normal at any given time.
Right. And politicians and media try to shift that window to make their radical ideas seem mainstream. But to say the window is positioned in the ass or in the rectum, depending on how polite you want to be with the translation.
I'll go with in the rectum.
Okay. It implies that our sense of what is acceptable has become completely inverted. It's internal. It's self-referential. We aren't looking out at the world to see what's possible. We're looking up our own selves.
We're consuming our own waste.
Which brings us directly to the Ouroboros.
The ancient symbol of the snake eating its own tail.
And the text just lays it out. Consume and be consumed. Vampirize and be vampirized. Zombify and be zombified. It's a closed loop. There is no outside input anymore.
What do you mean no outside input?
We create content based on other content. We form opinions based on the opinions of algorithms that were trained on our previous opinions. It's just a hall of mirrors.
It's an echo chamber, but it's an echo chamber that eats you. It's not just noise, it's digestion.
And the scariest part, we seem to like it. The source calls it a Stockholm syndrome.
Abused abusers in a Stockholm syndrome that self-feeds until total collapse.
Yeah.
That one hit home. Because how many times have I opened an app, felt my blood pressure rise, felt my anxiety spike, hated everything I saw,
And then kept scrolling.
and then kept scrolling for another hour?
You defend the captor. You feed the system that makes you sick because you don't know how to live outside of it. You are the abused abuser. You participate in the abuse of others by commenting, by judging, by howling with the pack, and then you get abused in turn. It's the cycle.
And all the while, we think we're the good guys. The text says, you look in the mirror and you are all beautiful, all on the side of right.
Moral narcissism. That is the engine of the social internet. We don't post to change the world. We post to prove to ourselves and our followers that we are on the right side of history.
Yeah.
But the text argues that this is a complete hallucination. We have no voice in the chapter. We are just noise in the signal. We are lamers, to use the text's very specific, very dated terminology.
This idea of hallucinated virtue, of performing goodness,
Right.
it transitions us perfectly to the next section. The Naked King.
Right.
And I have to warn the listener, the imagery in the Manadoro text here gets grotesque. It talks about a digital porn gulag.
It's deliberately repulsive. It's trying to shock you out of that Stockholm syndrome. It's painting a picture of a society that has completely degraded itself for attention.
It talks about self-styled little virgins showing the intact hymen after the umpteenth surgical reconstruction.
Okay, let's unpack this carefully because this is where the satire gets razor sharp. This is obviously not about biology or actual surgery.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for purity culture and rebranding.
Rebranding, how so?
Think about the apology video genre on YouTube. Think about the influencer who gets canceled for doing something awful. They go away for a month. They come back. They've had a surgical reconstruction of their image.
Oh, I see.
They present themselves as new, as innocent, as virgins to the corruption they just participated in. I've done the work, they say. I've grown.
But the text says they've been scraping the bottom of the barrel that was full of shit after having eaten it all.
Exactly. You can't be innocent if you've been feeding on the decay. You are fundamentally corrupted by the very system you're trying to exploit. But we accept the lie. We accept the surgical reconstruction because we want the show to continue. We want the content.
It mentions OnlyFans and the digital porn gulag. It seems to imply that we all selling ourselves, whether that's literal or metaphorical.
It's the commodification of intimacy, whether it's actual adult content or just the emotional porn of sharing your deepest traumas for likes on TikTok. We are in a gulag of our own making.
We are prisoners who are also the guards.
Yes, we lock ourselves in the cell and then charge people a subscription fee to watch us through the bars.
And meanwhile, the king is naked.
Even when, as the text says, the king is naked, nobody cares. Or rather, they see the nakedness and they love it. They celebrate it.
The text describes the crowd taking selfies while kissing the naked king's large balls.
Vulgar, yes, I know. But look at the power dynamic it describes. It's not just that we tolerate the corruption of our leaders or influencers, we worship it. We want to get close to it.
It's the ultimate submission. You see the absurdity, you see the nakedness, the total lack of substance, and your reaction isn't to revolt.
It's to take a selfie.
It's to take a selfie, to associate yourself with the power, no matter how grotesque or hollow it is.
And the trained seals applaud.
Trained seals. That's us.
We are the seals. We clap our flippers. We perform our little tricks in the comment section. We bark when we are told to bark. And where are we all going, according to the text?
It says, heading to the slaughterhouse.
We think we are the audience at the stadium cheering for our team. We are actually the livestock. We are the fresh prey for the wolf pack.
And this stadium metaphor, the text links it to something very specific that happens on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. The simulated civil war.
Oh, this is crucial. The text talks about how we engage in these massive simulated conflicts online. We put flags in our bios. We declare our enemies. We talk about being in a war.
Right.
But it's a simulation. It's a performance. It's a simulated civil war on X.
It feels real, though, when you're in it. The anger feels real. The outrage feels real.
The dopamine is real. The cortisol is real. But the war is fake. It's a spectacle provided by the platform to keep the trained seals barking.
It keeps us
It
engaged.
keeps us engaged. It keeps us producing data. It keeps us in the stadium so the necrophagus insects can feed on our energy, our anger, our attention.
Then right in the middle of this absolute nightmare vision, there's this shout in all caps. Beat the new generation! Radio-MANNADORO!
That stopped me, too. It's such an aggressive line.
Is it a call to violence? Is he saying beat them up?
I don't think so. I think it's playing with the word beat.
Yeah.
You know, in the context of the Beat Generation Kerouac, Ginsberg beat meant beaten down, but also beatific. Holy. But here, I think it means beat, as in defeat or surpass. Overcome the new generation.
Like, stop being this generation. Stop being the generation of trained seals applauding at the slaughterhouse.
Exactly. It's a desperate plea to break the cycle, to stop the wheeling, to stop the Ouroboros from eating itself.
But how? Because the final section of the text deals with exactly that, the attempt to fight back. And it basically says, you're doing it all wrong.
This is the spiritual war section. And if you spend any time on the fringe internet or even just regular social media these days, you know this language.
Oh, yeah.
You have people talking about the Matrix, about being red-pilled, about fighting the globalist cabal, about spiritual warfare.
That's the huge narrative right now. I am awake. I have escaped the Matrix. Everyone else is an NPC, a background character.
And Radio-MANNADORO looks at those people and just laughs and says, such a long spiritual war, huh? War against what? Against the mirror?
Against the mirror. Oof. That takes the wind out of the sails of that whole movement.
It's a brutal takedown of the internet warrior complex. The source is arguing that these people who think they are awake, the red-pilled Matrix logo soldiers, as it mocks them, are actually just fighting their own reflection.
It's projection.
It's total projection. You are angry at the world, so you create a villain, an Archon, an Agent Smith, a Borg, and you fight him on Twitter. But the villain is you.
You are the one engaged in the consumption.
You are the one feeding the algorithm. You are the one clicking the buttons. You're the one keeping the show going.
The text strings all these buzzwords together. It's almost unreadable. Angry liars and self-complacing mirror-reflecting narcissistic red-pilled Matrix logo soldiers.
It's like it's vomiting up the internet's vocabulary to show you how empty and self-referential it all is.
But it doesn't take a side.
Not at all. It's pointing out that woke and red-pilled are just two sides of the same counterfeit coin. They are both Archon's Matrix American dreamers. They are both trapped in the American dream of being the main character in a movie that doesn't exist.
You never learn it's you. That's the line that sticks with me. It's you.
That's the twist ending of the movie that they think they're in. There is no external enemy.
Yeah.
You are the Archon. You are the Matrix. You are the one keeping the simulation running by participating in it.
And then comes the command, stop the signal, Borgs.
Which is a reference to Star Trek, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The Borg are a hive mind. No individuality, just a collective consciousness. Stop the signal means disconnect. Stop processing the packed information.
Stop howling with the pack.
Yes. But can we? The text seems to suggest it's almost impossible. It says, it is never the host, but it is the parasites.
Okay, let's unpack that. That brings us back to the biology of it all.
Right. Winners don't have a nation. They are the parasites.
Yeah.
In a true parasitic relationship, the host is the victim. The parasite is the one that thrives by draining the host.
And the source is saying that in this digital ecosystem, the ones who win, the influencers, the platforms, the engagement farmers, they are the parasites.
And we are the hosts.
We are the hosts. And usually, eventually, the parasite kills the host.
Or, as Sid Barrett put it all those years ago, leaves nothing behind but dripping blanched bones.
Wow.
Precisely. The host withers away, drained of its vitality, its nuance, its humanity, until it's just a husk. And the parasite, the wolf pack, it just moves on. Short-wheeling, fresh prey.
The text calls it a battle of hyenas versus jackals.
And we're just the carcasses they're fighting over.
This has been heavy. I feel like I need a shower and maybe to throw my phone in a river.
It's a lot to process.
Tricky?
It is, by its very nature, an apocalyptic vision.
And speaking of apocalyptic, there is one final layer to this that we have to address. The text explicitly invokes the deity Shiva.
Shiva is dancing on you.
Who is Shiva in this context, for people who might not know?
In Hindu cosmology, Shiva is the destroyer. But it's not evil destruction, not in the Western sense. He is the lord of the dance who destroys the universe at the end of an age, the Kali Yuga, so that it can be reborn.
And what is the Kali Yuga?
The Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel, conflict, and hypocrisy.
Quarrel, conflict, and hypocrisy. That sounds a lot like my Twitter feed.
It sounds exactly like the simulated civil war, doesn't it? The text mentions stars ending their cycle, and the state of matter reveals itself as fatuous. It implies that we are at the end of a cycle.
So the zombie apocalypse it mentions, it isn't zombies eating brains.
No, it's the Ouroboros eating itself until there is nothing left. It's a cultural and spiritual collapse.
It implies a destruction is coming. Or maybe that it's already happening. Maybe the blanched bones are what's left after Shiva dances through.
If the source is right, and we really are just trained seals, applauding our own march to the slaughterhouse, it raises a terrifying question for anyone listening to this.
So, okay, let's try to synthesize this. If we step back from the edge of the abyss for just a second, what have we actually learned today?
We've traced a lineage of artificiality, a straight line. We started with Syd Barrett in the 60s, seeing the first cracks in the system, realizing that the king of the counterculture, Bob Dylan, was just a guy selling shoes and rhymes. He saw that fame was a product.
And then we fast forwarded to today, where that product has metastasized. It's not just rock stars anymore, it's everyone. We are all selling shoes, we are all performing prophecy for our own small audience.
And we've realized that this constant performance creates a feeding frenzy. The wolf pack, the data stream, the packed information is a predator. It hunts.
And the Radio-MANNADORO text shows us that we are complicit in that hunt. We are the necrophagous insects feeding on the decay of our own culture, picking the meat from the bones.
And we've confronted the hardest pill to swallow, that our rebellions, our online crusades, our spiritual wars against the Matrix, they are just us fighting the mirror. We are the Ouroboros eating its own tail, convinced we are fighting a dragon.
It's a realization that we are trapped in a loop of our own making. We built the stadium, we trained ourselves as seals, and we're applauding as the slaughterhouse opens.
So when you turn this off, when you unlock that screen and the light from your phone hits your face, and for just a second, you see your own reflection in that black mirror.
You have to ask yourself,
Are you the diner?
or are you the dinner?
That's the question.
And on that cheerful note, don't let the wolf pack find you in the fog. Thanks for diving deep.
Stay safe out there.